Hello my dear students, I am back with the news analysis. Today we shall be discussing the Hindu dated March 20. I would like to remind you all the purpose of this program. This program is not aimed to pick a few questions that may come for your examination. That will be a total demeaning to this entire program. The entire program is designed to inculcate the habit of reading newspapers in you people. I know that reading has not been encouraged, reading beyond the textbooks has not been encouraged all through our curriculum. So we have grown with a kind of reading deficit, and that is a great deficiency. And if you want to succeed in any of the all India level competitive examination, you have to have information much beyond what you gathered from your textbooks. Newspaper reading is the only way out, reading of the Hindu is the only way out. So my job is to let you know or to provide you a kind of a background on what all things that you read. As a primer, this one major difficulty you would have faced. Suppose today you start reading your newspapers, then you read a news but you have no idea about its background. So if you continuously read, then you will get the background. I will teach you, I will give you some idea about the background of every episode, every news item that comes up in the newspaper. That will help you, I hope so. So the program is meant to give you a background on everything that you read in the newspapers, and of course I shall spice up the program by providing a few questions too. You all know that the students of our in-campus program as well as the mobile application, through those who learn through the mobile application, are given the general awareness notes in a very detailed manner within the application. So every week I am giving you nearly 105 questions, choices, answers and their explanations. That is a very detailed thing, but this is an addition to that. I am giving a few questions that will be available in the daily Gyan section of our application. So I am very sure that these two things will help you improve your claims for this examination, and general awareness paper will be made easier. So we shall start. State resolutions on central laws are fine. 5 states account for 80% of new infections. These are the two major news items of the Hindu dated March 20. State resolutions on central laws are fine. Supreme Court Chief Justice says that it is within the purview of the state legislative assemblies to lodge their protest or through a resolution request the central government to make amends to any central laws, so long as they are not asking people to disobey the laws. This particular reference has got, this particular statement by the Chief Justice has got reference to the Kerala government and of course a few other governments, state governments, legislative assemblies had passed resolutions asking central government to do away with the farm laws that it had passed, the central government had passed in September 2020. It is the opinion of the majority in the Kerala assembly. They have not told people to disobey the law, they have only told parliament to abrogate the law. So the Supreme Court Chief Justice was saying that it is very much within the ambit of the assembly to express its conscience. That is good, so long as the assembly has not asked people to disobey a central law. We are with you if you say that Kerala assembly has no jurisdiction to set aside the law made by the parliament, but do they have no right to express an opinion, asks the Chief Justice of India. Of course, these are all oral references during the when the case was taken up by the Supreme Court. So please read. Finally, the Supreme Court prima facie has found no harm in the state legislative assemblies such as those in Kerala and West Bengal passing resolutions against central laws like the controversial Citizenship Amendment Act or the new agriculture laws. It was on these two things, one, the controversial Citizenship Amendment Act, and second was on the farm laws, that the State Legislative Assembly of Kerala passed a resolution asking the central government to abrogate those laws. So the Supreme Court, when this was taken up by the court, Supreme Court of India Chief Justice said that the state government can express their, the assembly can express their opinion. There is no harm in that, so long as they have not asked the people to disobey a central law. Delhi undermined. This has reference to the National Capital Territory bill passed by the bill proposed by the central government. The centre's bill seeking to amend the law relating to the running of the National Capital Territory of Delhi claims that it is aimed at giving effect to interpretation given by the Supreme Court judgments on Delhi government's structure. Listen, I shall tell you. We have got different states in India, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana, these are all states, full-fledged states. But there are a few other states which are states in nature, but they do not have full-fledged statehood. Example, Delhi. Delhi state is there, there is an elected legislature and elected government in Delhi, but it does not have as much powers as any other ordinary states have. For example, the law and order. The law and order is a state subject, but as far as Delhi state is concerned, the law and order is with the central government. So the Delhi police are guided and controlled by the central government, not by the state government. Major political parties had promised that Delhi would be given complete statehood, full statehood, but they have dishonored it continuously. Now the central government has gone one step further by coming out with a bill that seeks to weaken the Delhi administration, Delhi government. The proposed changes are the very antithesis of what the court had said. The bill, if it becomes law, look, the bill, if it becomes law, if it is passed by both House of Parliament and given assent to by the President, it becomes law, will wholly undermine the court's efforts to strengthen the elected government vis-a-vis the appointed Lieutenant Governor. We know that while Kiran Bedi was the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, the Arvind Kejriwal government and the Delhi Governor, Lieutenant Governor, they were fighting. Whenever the Delhi government wanted to impose their authority, immediately the Lieutenant Governor checked its authority, saying that it was beyond the purview of the elected government. So there was a real struggle, power struggle in Delhi. The Constitution Bench verdict of July 4, 2018 said, the Lieutenant Governor has not been entrusted with any independent decision making power. Clearly the Supreme Court said, when it got an opportunity, that the central government appointed Lieutenant Governor cannot make any kind of personal choice as regards decisions are concerned. He has to either go by the advice of the Council of Ministers, advice of the elected Council of Ministers, Delhi government, or go by the advice of his appointee, the President of India. He cannot make any kind of personal choice. But the new bill clearly goes against the spirit of the Supreme Court verdict. That is the essence of this article. Please keep on reading. I hope you understood. Have you all understood what I said? Hello? Have you got an idea about what I have told you? Please give me a response. Excuse me, those who are attending may give an idea. You got the idea? I told you that the central government used to control the elected government of Delhi through its lieutenant governor. The relationship of the central government and other states and the relationship of central government with Delhi are different. Delhi is not a Delhi does not have full-fledged statehood. So, okay, good. So, please read further. Chasing peace, the Taliban should not be allowed to have its way in talks on sharing power in Afghanistan. This is something that I told you in the last class, but I shall repeat. Afghanistan is our northern neighbor. Afghanistan has been facing political turmoil for the past many years. During the Cold War era, Afghanistan was ruled for more than 20 years by the puppet administrator Muhammad Najibullah, who was a Russian Soviet Union puppet. He had been ruling the country, but when Soviet Union collapsed in mid-80s, all of a sudden Afghanistan government got weakened, and the Taliban forces, a militant student union, the Taliban forces marched to Afghanistan, toppled the government of Najibullah, and Najibullah, the then president, was hanged in a football stadium in public. So there has been power struggle ever since then. Then came the September 11 attack, in which Al-Qaeda by Osama bin Laden distracted the twin towers of the World Trade Center. Later on, America declared war against Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden was supposed to be hiding in the Tora Bora region of Afghanistan. America and the NATO forces sent their military establishments to Afghanistan, and ever since then, for the past almost 20 years, Afghanistan was having under the influence of NATO powers. So America and the NATO allies had set up military establishments in Afghanistan, and under the military supervision, under the NATO control, elections were held, and for the past many years, Afghanistan has an elected government. But Taliban forces control most of the rural areas of Afghanistan, and when Donald Trump, the former US president, said that America and NATO would pull out of Afghanistan on May 1, 2021. They would start pulling out of Afghanistan. So the dilemma with the Joseph Biden administration is that they want to leave a credible government in Afghanistan before the pullout starts. Joseph Biden understands clearly that he cannot keep his army for unlimited time in Afghanistan, so it has to pull out. The army has to pull out. But anyway, Afghanistan cannot be left to Taliban forces. So now the negotiations are taking place. There have been negotiations taking place in Doha, and now of late negotiations were held in Russia, in Moscow, in which Afghanistan, America, Russia, Pakistan and Taliban forces participating, and no final conclusion could be made. So the dilemma of Afghanistan, Joseph Biden's dilemma, is that he cannot commit troops endlessly to a war that the US is certainly not winning. Of course, in the last 20 years, despite the fact that NATO powers have been in Afghanistan, peace was yet to come. and now the mission of the American forces really ended when Osama bin Laden was caught alive from Abbottabad in Pakistan a few years ago. Ever since then, America wanted to pull the troops back from Afghanistan, but they have been trying to have some kind of a credible government in Afghanistan. That is what the negotiations are for. Hopefully, we will have peace in Afghanistan very soon. So, I hope you understood the essence of the article. Please say whether you have understood, my dear students, please. Hello, I look forward to your comments. Have you understood? The second editorial was on chasing peace in Afghanistan. Yes, excuse me, give me a few responses. I've been speaking about Afghanistan, the issue in Afghanistan currently. My question is, have you understood that? I've been trying to tell you things as a story. Yes, thank you. So, I am proceeding further. You are given the first question now. The Global Hunger Index GHI report has placed India at dash out of 107 countries in 2020. 107th rank, 101st rank, 94th rank, 82nd rank or 51st rank. Good to see that you have understood about the explanation of the Hindu editorial. Thank you. So, please answer this question. What is India's rank in the Global Hunger Index? Yes, the answers have started coming. Anakha says the third choice. Oh yes, many others say it's 94th rank is correct. Government of India is contesting the positioning of India as 94th out of 107 countries. Government of India says that the modus operandi, the measurement are wrong. The considerations in arriving at the ranking have been wrong. That is what the Government of India says. India is having very poor rank, 94th rank out of 107 countries, despite India being among the top 10 food producing countries in the world. Mind you, India has got its food grain output at 300 million tons. India exports sugar, India exports rice, wheat, etc. But despite that, India's rank in global hunger index continues to be very poor, and this is a great irony. A country that produces food massively and even export is having a very poor rank in global hunger index. These things have to be read along with 3 crore people losing their ration cards. That was what was questioned by the Supreme Court 2 days ago, which we discussed. So, 3 crore people lost their ration cards. Mind you, the backbone of food supply in India is the public distribution system. We have got an effective public distribution system, but of late that has been weakened by measures taken by governments. If you want to improve or if you want to eliminate hunger from the country, of course, question the methodology and data accuracy of the Global Hunger Index report, which has placed India at the 94th among 107 countries in 2020. Of course, this is one of the latest trends by the government. Government of India continuously questions reports by international agencies. So, we have to know whether the government or the agencies which are on the right side. Lok Sabha passes MMDR amendment bill. Lok Sabha passed a bill to amend the Mines and Mineral Development Regulation Act, MMDR Act, through a voice vote. amendments will create jobs and allow private players with enhanced technology into mining sector. Of course, technology is very important. We know that India has one of the biggest known sources of coal in India, coal in the world, but unfortunately Indian coal is of inferior quality. Only through better technology that we can improve the, we can reduce the pollution while mining coal. So such technologies may be available in countries like Finland, of course is known for better coal mining technology. So what the government keeps in mind while passing the law is that through this amendment private players will come into mining with better technology, and that will reduce level of pollution and that will create more jobs. So the reform in mining sector would generate 55 lakh direct and indirect jobs, says the government. Mining sector right now contributes to 1.75% of GDP, but the proposed reforms will raise the contribution to 2.5% as it seeks to make a large number of mines available for auctions by resolving legacy issues. Of course, in the first half or two-third of India's independence, two-third time of India's post-independent days, mining sector was reserved only for the government agencies like Coal Authority of India, etc. But ever since then mining has been or private entry has been permitted into mining. With the new amendments, auctions will be given. As oil wells are auctioned for private people, mines will also be given up for or taken up for auctions. Private players can come and win auctions and start mining. So that is the essence of the new bill. Continuously read. Centre asked Delhi High Court to stop WhatsApp's new privacy policy. We know that the WhatsApp was to come with its new privacy policy on February 8, but thanks to strong protest by the public as well as from the government of India, WhatsApp postponed the unveiling of its policy, privacy policy, to May 15. We have to wait and see. That is tentatively fixed for May 15. We have to check, we have to wait whether it will kickstart on May 15, quite unlikely, because government of India has voiced its concern over the new privacy policy of WhatsApp. We have to wait and see. Not required to vaccinate all, says the Union Health Minister. Of course, the government from the very beginning had been saying that we will not go for universal vaccination as regards COVID vaccination is concerned. We will stop vaccinating when we are able to completely break. When the break comes, when the spreading is stopped, vaccination would stop. We know that we are giving universal vaccination for 4 things like polio, measles, etc. But for COVID it is not going to be universal vaccination. When the spreading stops, the vaccination will end, said the government. Advanced nations failing world on climate change, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. They had vowed 100 billion a year. Finance Minister admonished advanced countries for failing to keep their financing commitments to help emerging economies cope with climate change, invoking the recent Uttarakhand disaster as an example of vulnerabilities that need to be addressed. Of course, that is a very true statement. The biggest polluting country, the United States of America, moved out of the climate accord in 2018 when Donald Trump was its president. The new administration has clearly said that it would get back to the Paris Agreement on climate change. So what the world needs is greater financial commitment to control pollution and climate change the planet is facing. Auto firm see scrappage policy boosting sector. We discussed that in detail in the last class through a question. I remember that the policy would kickstart soon in 2021 or 22. I don't exactly remember the date. All passenger vehicles have to go for a complete fitness test after 20 years of its life, commercial vehicles 15 years, and government vehicles will be deregistered after 15 years. These are the things that we discussed. So after 15 years we have to scrap our vehicles if it fails to pass the test, then that will be noted as end of the vehicle. So the vehicle industry, the manufacturing industry believes that it is a great opportunity for them. They say that Indian automobile industry, which is around 4.5 lakh crore worth, will become 10 lakh crore in the next couple of years if the scrap policy is adopted. Of course, at the cost of the society, the industry is going to grow, but it has got plenty of benefits too. The pollution may come down, more fuel efficient vehicles will come up, and that will be, and of course it will create more jobs also. But anyway, for every good thing there is it's a zero sum game. There are bad effects also. Society have to spend more money. The second question, Ranthambore Tiger Sanctuary is in the state of Maharashtra, Odisha, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, a very important wildlife sanctuary, a tiger sanctuary. The sanctuary was in the news for 6 tigers have been unaccounted for since March 2020. Ranthambore, when a particular sanctuary or wildlife park comes up in the news, then immediately in the subsequent examination there will be questions on that. Yes, true, it is in Rajasthan. Ranthambore is in Rajasthan. It is a tiger reserve. 6 tigers missing in Ranthambore. The government says that it is not because of poaching. So 6 tigers, 4 adults and 2 sub-adults have been unaccounted for since March 2020 in Ranthambore Tiger Sanctuary. State forest officials are not willing to label them missing and denied reports that they may have been poached. Okay. Tiger is the national animal of India. Wildlife Institute of India is in Dehradun, that also can be pointed out. National Wildlife Institute of India is in Dehradun. Mary Com's Academy upgraded, better read. Mary Com is the chess champion of India, an international player, and she has started, of course, in her boxing academy. This has been there for some time now. Now more facilities have been added to the Imphal based academy. Third question, Samia Suluhu Hassan has recently been sworn in as the first female president of which country? Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Africa or Zimbabwe? Of course, those people who have been continuously watching the program will answer, because we discussed related news on the previous day. So Samia Suluhu Hassan is the first woman president of which country? Yes, the answer is correct. It is Tanzania. We read in the previous day that the Tanzanian president John Magufuli died suddenly, and now the new president, the first woman president, has been elected in Tanzania. Tanzania swears in the first woman president. Samia Suluhu Hassan was sworn in the president of Tanzania, the first female president after his predecessor John Magufuli died from illness. So that's it. So thank you very much, my dear students, for watching the program. Please make sure that you all subscribe to the channel, and please share this program with your friends, so that more people can come and watch the program and can be benefited. Please write your comments in the YouTube channel against the program, and I am very sure that those comments will be a great privilege to us, and we honor that. Like the program, share the program, and thank you very much, and we shall meet again tomorrow. Till then,